Something else that has been so amazing this season is the return of some of our beloved, favorite, iconic characters.
Yeah.
Patrick Dempsey, T.R. Knight.
Yeah.
For you, as someone who is only one of 3 OG characters.
OGs.
OG. What has that been like for you?
So I look at it as a fan of the show because I have always been a fan of Grey's Anatomy since day one. I'm the person that doesn't watch the episodes until they air. I'm that, kind of fan of the show.
You're like us.
So yeah, so I was thinking of it from a fan point of view who may not have expected that at all. That was really exciting for me. I was excited for our fans to get that opportunity to have that moment.
What was it like to keep that secret?
Well, that's what we do.
You guys are very good at it, by the way.
Not difficult at all. It's like, what secret? What? We just know it's going to be so much more exciting for people to actually watch it than to tease it or be like, oh, this is what's coming. It's like, no, just let it be. Just let it show up and see what happens.
You and James were in one of the scenes with T.R. Knight. Talk about just shooting that and the emotion that you guys probably, I would imagine, felt having him back with you in person.
We were all on watch alert. Is that somebody over there? Is that somebody? Go over there. They got a phone. Go get them. It's like that.
It was that crazy?
It was like, no, I think the dude on the surfboard. Go get him. He's got a camera. It was like, protect the baby, because we just really wanted it to be a surprise. So we, always keep in touch, over the years. That relationship didn't end because the character ended. So it was, having the baby back at home.
We do know that there's more McDreamy to come. What can you reveal about his final stints with us this season?
Final? See, that would imply that I know what the story is.
You don't know?
Why do you keep thinking that I know things?
Because I feel like if anyone knows, it's you and maybe
really?
Ellen.
I'd go with the Ellen part before you come to me. But that's honest truth. I have no idea of, what our plans are.
What do you think the beach scenes signify then?
The beach was actually a really cool idea that came from Krista Vernoff. She was like, okay, to starting season in the pandemic, and that we need to tell that story, but everybody's in PPE all the time and fully masked. How do you see people? What do you do? So if Meredith's going to go down, let's send her to the beach where everything is calm and peaceful and you can run your feet through the sand and there's no COVID and, the wind is blowing and people are able to kind of come and visit that realm and spend time, even though, we're really not there. O'Malley's character was there, able to talk with Meredith, but Richard and Bailey were not. We were speaking to her in the hospital, but as far as she was concerned, everybody's there with her on the beach. So it's actually become a really interesting tool, a really interesting vehicle to say, where do you go and spend your time while you're waiting for medicine to catch up?
Who would you love to see return?
I am notorious for saying all of the babies, dead or alive, are welcome to come back and spend time at home. That's what it's there for. All of the babies. I particularly call them that because once I started directing in season 6, that's what everybody felt like to me, my babies, and that I was taking care of these characters and, just really thoughtful about what kind of experience they were having. So that's how they all feel to me. Bring them out of the grave. Just bring them on.
Grave. Is there a chance that we will see Lexie and Mark? That seems to be a big...
Oh, that's the draw? That's everybody wants that?
I mean, everyone wants everyone, but that's
the
theory that I've seen.
And them together, right? It's like you have to know that they're happily ever after the plane crash. And they're together.
For happy endings.
That's very, very cute. That would be very, very cute. Again, script by script. That's all this one right here knows.
You, James, Ellen, the only 3 OGs left on the show. What does that feel like for you guys?
I think as an actor, you would love to be a starter and a finisher of a thing, right? To have that kind of longevity. I know what that means to me. Like these are like my actor dreams come true. But even in a bigger sense than that, Grace has meant so much socially. It's meant so much to our culture, to American culture, and then globally, people relate to these characters and care about these characters. So I love what we've been able to accomplish as far as television is concerned, and what television looks like, and what images are portrayed. So I'm incredibly honored at having been able to be a part of this all this time, and that our relevance is still right there. We kind of ride the relevance wave as it goes along, season after season after season.
Yeah. Do the three of you ever sit around and talk to each other, say things like, wow, can you believe it's still us three? Like, you have those moments together?
We have, like, OG handoffs, between scenes.
Wait, show me.
You take it. You got a high five on the way. It's like, yeah, you got it. Go ahead. I started it. You take us out. Let's get this day done. So yeah, we certainly that, but we are very, very aware of the set appreciation lives there for the fact that we're still there carrying this thing and keeping folks employed, and trying to keep people safe and trying to keep people healthy, and figuring out how do we do this thing, how do we get people to work, and also make sure that they're not only safe here but then safe when they go back home. Like, that's kind of the responsibility of season 17. How do we do that? And aware that we're kind of leading the charge.
Going back to you and James and Ellen being the three OG cast members standing, have you ever thought about, or do you ever think about closing this chapter and moving on to something else?
I know from a creative standpoint, there have been many this is how the season would end, this is how the series would end conversations, and then they all end up new because of a myriad of reasons, because the network's not ready, the studio's not ready, the fan base isn't ready, the numbers are too good. And I think that collectively they've decided, we're not going to put an end on it. We're just going to wait and see, especially in light of what's happening right now. It's like, do we want the last season to be about COVID, or do we want it, us to be able to put some nice ribbons around it with rainbows and balloons and things?
Do you still feel creatively fulfilled playing Bailey every day?
I learn new things about Bailey with every script, just continually. Even the fact that we're able to see my mom in this next episode. This is only the third episode where she's been able to be present, So there's still something new all the time. The story hasn't gotten old. We're not regurgitating anything. I think that's the thing that I love the most about having been Bailey for so long. I think that's what's been really rewarding, and what has also given inspiration to folks out there to go into medicine, or because they saw Miranda Bailey, now they know that they can be a surgeon. I still get those kind of, letters, notes, and things all the time.
That's got to feel really good.
It really does.
There are a lot of fan theories that this is the last season because you guys are bringing back so many people. Do you think that's a gift to the fans to get us through this pandemic, or do you think it is possible that this is the last season?
I would think that if this was the last season of Grey's, that it would be a whole thing about tune in for the final season of Grey's Anatomy. I don't think we'd get to the last episode and they would say that's it, right? Yeah. But we love fan candy. That's what that's about.
How would you describe the upcoming episodes of the show? Are they emotional? Are they nostalgic? What would you say?
I think they end up being a combination of both, right? The nature of the pandemic is emotional, especially when you are personally affected. We are in this world, and it breeds its own level of emotion. Somewhere in there we have to find humor. Somewhere in there we have to figure out how we get up and go on every day. But it's all about humanizing where we are right now. So then to be able to escape and spend time in nostalgia.
And lastly, what are you most excited for fans to see from Bailey throughout the season?
Wow. Perseverance. We all need a nice dose of that. Even on your worst days, how do you persevere? Or, how do you even take a break? We'll see her doubt herself. We'll see her, at her twinkle toes best, right? Like all of those things is what she's faced with. But, bottom line, it's how do you take care of everybody else at the same time? That's what's really important.